The WrestleMania. I'm so sick of these people. You know, I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
I got that thing on me. I got that stick. I got that tool. I'm packing.
You must be some kind of a dumbass. And I will never retire.
You know, this aggression will not stand, man.
Get that garbage out of here!
It doesn't matter what you think.
It's still real to me, damn it!
It's Friday night, and you know what that means. We are back once again for another edition of FNR. Those three letters stand for Friday Night Review. I am your boy, Cam G. And of course, we are joined today with a special guest replacement for Jamey, the Will Gray. He is the producer on my show on Wednesday nights on River City Radio. And tonight, he is filling in for Jamey. And of course, to my top left is my partner in crime every single Friday night, the man himself, Scalz. Gentlemen, what's going on tonight on this Friday evening?
I mean, Smackdown was good. It's as easy as that. Like, this was a good show.
Yes. Probably a hot take from me, but I think this was probably one of the best Smackdowns probably in a while. Honestly, this Smackdown to me felt more like Smackdown than the past couple have, and I don't know if it's because of the Roman effect. I know Roman wasn't on this particular episode, but maybe it's because of his aura, and now he's back in the storyline and things like that. But it just felt right. This felt like a SmackDown that it's supposed to feel like, and I hope they go. And we even got a stacked card for next Friday, so I hope they keep this momentum going into Survivor Series. So yeah, this was honestly a great show. I enjoyed it from start to finish.
I watched SmackDown live from beginning to end. Okay, so that means I watched NXT on Tuesday with Scalz. I watched Dynamite on Wednesday for the Boom, and I watched SmackDown live for FNR. So
Fellas,
one thing,
we got ourselves a wrestling fan.
is he here?
You. I'm talking about you. You're actually watching the shows live.
That was about all the good I had to say. No, I think that if there was a week to have to watch a lot of live wrestling, this was a good week for it. Like, there wasn't a bad show on all week. I wouldn't say there was any show that was like groundbreaking, set records, changed the game good, but there wasn't a bad show on all week. That wasn't NXT, Raw, Dynamite, Impact, NWA, SmackDown. Everybody had a good week this week. It's a good week to be a wrestling fan.
I don't want to jump ahead in the show, but if tonight was an indication that Vince is no longer here, your mind is just out there if you don't believe he's finally gone. Because things that happen tonight should be a clear indication that Triple H is 100% running creative.
Absolutely, yeah. That didn't even cross my mind, but yeah, you're definitely right about that. Definitely.
So, what was your favorite part of the show tonight, fellas?
Man, I mean, there's so much good. It's hard to pick just one thing. For me, I would say match-wise, I would have to go with the tag team match with A-Town Down Under and Dragon Lee and my boy Cameron Grimes. I loved that because it was a mini banger. I think it wasn't a full-blown banger, but it was a mini banger. But I like that match not only because of the in-ring action, but outside of that was because of the fact that they took the time to highlight a newer heel tag team in Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, but they also took two guys who aren't really fully over yet in Cameron Grimes. I'm a huge Cameron Grimes fan, and obviously Dragon Lee, and they're pushing for to get Dragon Lee over and give him that big push. So I loved how they just took those 4 guys and highlighted them. It was outside of the bloodline. It's outside of the main people that you always see, Kevin Owens, whoever. So that I definitely enjoyed about that match in general. I was like, wow, this is something different. So I definitely enjoyed that.
Got a special guest.
Hello.
So, hi, Shadow.
I thought I'd appear on some wrestling content because y'all are marks.
Shadow, do you know what the word mark means?
Yeah, it's what I get in my daily book when my wife gets mad at me.
Oh.
That's definitely a good way to put it.
SmackDown to me, if it's a indication of how Triple H is going to be booking in the future, I appreciate it, because the old school territory in my heart appreciates the fact that he books his shows the way old school bookers booked, in a sense that the story from beginning to end of the card wasn't just a series of matches and promos. They all went in a coherent story with a peak and valley, same way you do storytelling. Anybody who has any basic sense of writing understands that you have to have peaks and valleys in your writing. Not everything can be at a 10. And Triple H is really good at making the stuff that's a 4 or 5 still seem like a 10, even though importance of it's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, I watched SmackDown. I got home around 8-ish. I watched it, and I watched a lot more of it than I have in recent weeks. Usually I'll just turn it on as background noise, but I actually paid attention to shit on my screen tonight.
And what was your favorite part of it?
When Bianca came back, because now I have someone to boo again for fun. I just can't believe we have Bianca Cena and John Cena on the same show. It's wild.
Yeah, I thought only one could be seen at a time, because she left and then he came back.
Yeah, but you can't see him. We can see her.
I didn't think she was coming back yet. I thought they would have waited to have her debut, like after Survivor Series or something along those lines.
Okay.
I didn't feel she was needed yet.
My actual favorite part of the show was the backstage segment between Aldis and Pierce. When he said, "Let the games begin," bro, I'm here for brand warfare.
I'm not. I don't care. But we're more than likely getting Raw versus SmackDown in the Survivor Series, and I don't care for it.
Speaking, if I can make one more point. Speaking of the Raw versus SmackDown thing, apparently 2K is going to be no more in the next game, and they're bringing back Raw versus SmackDown.
Interesting.
So, why are you not for it, Cam? What's the reason?
Because it's pointless. Like, because again, it's the same argument that I made last week with they have to make me care. It's the same thing with like the women's tag team titles. It's like I don't care for them. You know what I mean? Like if their whole thing is going to be a 5-on-5 for brand supremacy, which means nothing in the long run.
But what if they put stakes on it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Put some stakes on it. Make it feel important. You know. That's what I'm saying.
Like the winner gets to pick their number entrant they come in. The last person standing. The other 5 get this area to choose from, and the person who gets pinned should have to start 1 if he's in the Rumble. Like something like that.
Something like that.
I don't
I
like
think
that.
would be interesting.
I don't like that because the whole fun of the Royal Rumble is the fact of the randomness to it. I don't want to know who's coming out where.
It's
They
really
don't have to
not.
announce it. They just be like, "Hey, I'm picking my number," but you don't know what number I'm coming in.
The only one you really know is technically 1 and 2. Like that's the only ones that are usually announced, and that would be the only one that would actually be announced out of this match would be the loser. They would have to start 1.
I
Everything
just
else
wanna
can
say-
be
I like
they
it.
would pick
Go
out the
ahead.
number.
I just want to say that I enjoyed Will just wearing the scarf earlier this week, and Cam take your shirt off.
It's not happening, dog.
So the reaction from Cam on his own show when he saw that happening was hilarious.
What about the seamlessness of Will just doing it behind the cutscene?
I missed it. Like, and then after he comes back, he's just wearing a scarf, and next thing you know, there's Mike taking his shirt off live on cam. I was like, "Oh crap, here we go."
They really dropped.
Well,
They really dropped
well,
a boom on that one.
while Cam wasn't even realize he was doing it. Like Cam was in the middle of a talk, and all of a sudden Mike's taking his shirt off. He looks back, and goes, "Crap." It was great. It was great TV.
Will, what's your take on the brand warfare since these two have entered?
I think brand. This will make Scalz real happy. I think one way to really make a brand split matter is for them to go head to head and for them to battle it out. Looking in most recently in the past 5 years, you look at 2019. You remember the stirrup it caused because of how strong NXT Black and Gold was booked going into that pay-per-view, to a point that in a head-to-head count for winning matches, they won with huge wins for Roddy Strong over AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. You look at wins in the tag team division for the Street Profits on the pre-show against the New Day at that time. Then some of the other wins, you look at Pete Dunne and Adam Cole, how strong they were booked. So I think if you want to hammer home how important a brand split is, have the head-to-head battle at Survivor Series and make it mean something. I love the idea of the sole survivor having the opportunity to choose his entrance in the Royal Rumble. I think that's a genius booking because that's not something they've ever done. And they've always booked that sole survivor to mean something going into the Rumble. So to book it with a stipulation means that person carries it from Survivor Series to the Rumble, which is the largest gap in pay-per-views in WWE in 1 year. So it gives a built-in story for that, because he could decide the night before to announce when he's coming in, or the night after he wins it. He could say, okay, I'm coming out 30, or I'm going to beat the board and go 1-30.
I like it. So,
My favorite part of the show tonight was the main event. That woman's
Charlotte got
match.
fucked.
That's great.
It's terrible.
It's great because you missed my open you missed my comment on Cam's open. If this is not proof that Vince is no longer there, I don't know what could tell you that.
I need Charlotte as a champion. I want to see her beat the record.
You are the only person that wants to see her beat it besides her
That's
dad.
not true. Allison would too.
I thought it was a great match. It got to showcase what Io can do, and it helps further the storyline. I don't like Bianca being inserted into it. I wanted her to stay away for a little bit because I wanted to be able to see Io go versus Asuka again with Kairi Sane involved. And I'm not sure we're going to get that now.
Well, they got her long lost sister coming in, Jade Cargill. So that's why it's happening.
Yeah, but she's not going to be on SmackDown.
We don't know where she's going to be at. Is she
Everything-
going to be on Raw?
Everything keeps going to Raw. But with what happened on NXT this week, we don't know. Because was she saying time is ticking for the NXT championship or for Becky itself?
Bro, if you think that's anything less than a CM Punk reference, you're high.
You guys are reading way too much into
Clobbering time, motherfuckers. Get it right.
I
I don't
understand.
think so. No.
But not everything that they're doing is CM Punk related.
No.
Listen,
And there's a lot of people that are thinking things that they're doing subliminally is mentioning CM Punk because Survivor Series is in Chicago.
I mean,
And-
even if they're not doing it to bring them back, they're capitalizing on what we're doing right now.
No,
that's what I think they're doing.
I get that. But they literally sold 3,000 tickets in 2 days from what they just opened up. Because people think Punk is coming back at Survivor Series.
I think
So
one of
it's a
the
W.
biggest takeaways here also is although Vince McMahon isn't in power anymore, Vince long standing in the business, and this has been adapted by other companies throughout history in wrestling. And that's you don't tease something that you can't follow through with. Because if you tease your fans and then you don't come through, you get fucking pie in the face. That's been a standing unwritten rule in wrestling as long as they've been in fucking big tents. You know what I mean? You don't tease something you can't follow through on, because if you don't, you look like an ass. If they're genuinely teasing CM Punk and then he doesn't show up, it does nothing but tease, cause a spike, and then you immediately look like a chump.
Yeah, but Will, this is WWE we're talking about here. I think you're giving them a little
But-
too much credit.
No,
But
but
I
they've
think
always been.
done it before. So
They've never done that. They've never teased
Yeah, they
somebody
have.
and not
They've-
shown up.
they've teased a lot of stuff and it never happens. So yeah, they have. Yeah, they have.
In regards to someone showing up on their shows,
Yes, they have.
name one person.
Just to clarify something, though, Triple H didn't have a problem with CM Punk backstage. It was Vince McMahon that had a problem with CM Punk backstage.
Correct.
And if Triple H is running creative, it's not a far-fetched idea that Punk is coming back.
No, it's not far
And
fetched.
UFC and Endeavor is a big Punk fan, considering he does commentary for them and shit.
Who is he doing commentary for in Endeavor?
He was doing some MMA stuff that was attached to the UFC.
Well, I don't know exactly what company he's done it for, but
But they're
weekend
attached
was
to
in-
they're like a baby branding for UFC.
this past weekend when he was in Tampa, when they said that, or in Orlando in that area, and people thought he was going to show up, he was doing commentary for MMA last weekend. But
Yeah, see?
Cam,
UFC's NXT.
who comes to mind when you were saying that about them teasing
I
something?
just mean in
not showing up?
general that they've done stuff similar. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. That's what I'm saying.
I think the big return leading into Survivor Series is not Punk, is fucking Orton, because apparently they're moving stuff now for promotion purposes of Randy coming back.
They have all new merchandise ready, prep for him.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for that.
Ain't nobody more hyped than Sammy.
That's a
That's the
fact.
truth. Hey, something we agree on, Cam.
That's a fact.
What else was good tonight on SmackDown?
We had Montez and Santos Escobar.
Oh, that was a good. That was a good match.
That was a good match. I'm glad Montez Ford won, because they definitely needed that win to keep the momentum going for that faction. So I liked it.
How come
I
they don't
like,
call themselves the Almighty Prophets yet?
I mean, that would be a banger name. They should. I was surprised that they called Waller and Theory A-Town Down Under. I was actually surprised that they called them that.
They did. Yeah, they just need to make that name official now. So
I think that's a stupid name.
What'd you think of Cena? I didn't realize he hasn't won a singles televised match in over 5 years.
He said that before. I think once before that he hadn't won a match that long. I don't know. For me, I feel like that was a pointless segment because it was just like I mean, was it just a match? Was it like an unsanctioned match? Was it like a street fight? It was weird because he like alluded to like him retiring, and then it was like, no, I'm fired up. Whoever comes to that curtain is getting smoked. This is like weird.
It's setting up.
That was like the one thing I didn't like about tonight.
It's setting up a match between Cena and Solo at Crown Jewel.
I realize that now, but
that's what essentially it was doing.
I have an unpopular opinion. You're about to ruin LA Knight's momentum in 2 weeks.
It's not unpopular. There's a lot of people that are worried about that.
It's very possible.
I think they're going to find a way to not have him lose while not winning.
DQ doesn't win the belt.
Yeah, I know, but they got to figure out a way to do it that they haven't really done recently.
This is the issue with somebody so red hot going against Roman, because we just saw it at Elimination Chamber with Sammy. Because everybody thought that was the time for Roman to drop the belt. Sammy was as hot as the sun. You weren't going to get any red hotter. And now you're looking at LA Knight in the same frame, and you go, okay, if not now, when? So if he does go in there and he does lose to Roman, how long of a build back up will LA Knight have to do to make it convincing? Even if he loses in a dirty finish and Roman has the bloodline come in and everybody does it, how long of an uphill battle will LA Knight have to do? Are they going to start building a multiple series feud? Do they start building? Because if everybody's pushing to Roman and Cody at 40, that gives us Survivor Series, that gives us Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. And then it immediately shifts back to Cody and Roman if that's what they're wanting to pull the trigger on at 40. So we've got 60 days for an LA Knight push.
You can't do it. Well, you could, but you can't. It would be a really congested push in 60 days if you did it. There'd be too much happening all at once to rebuild them. It just wouldn't work.
So what would make the IWC happier then? Seeing LA Knight get that push, or would Cody?
That's a losing war. Well, you're not going to make them happy.
Well, that's kind of
even when you get them what they want, they're not going to be happy.
In a lot of ways, WWE pushing Roman to break Hogan's record. If they want that to be the feasible case, then they've backed themselves into a corner where they have no choice but to send their biggest stars at Roman to lose. How long will Roman stay red hot, working part-time and chewing up the biggest stars? How long before the fans turn on him?
For as long as they want him to, I guess.
We saw it happen to Cena.
Logan Paul
saw it happen to Bianca. I think Logan Paul sounded like somebody who just finished wrestling school. You can tell how green he is.
Yeah. But he definitely took a shot at Roman because he said the last time he fought Mysterio, Roman was still a full-time wrestler.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious coming from him.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
That was 100% a handwritten line.
But it's great.
Oh, yeah, it was good writing, but that's the point. Even Logan reading lines, you could tell how green he is. His in-ring work is far surpassing his character work and mic skills. That's all I've got to say.
Great.
I think so. I think his mic skills aren't necessarily bad, because I think his mic skills are just good enough to where he gets to the point of getting heat. So
they're just not refined.
Yeah, it's not smooth, and it's just not. But
okay, so looking at it like that logistically, then does an arena league quarterback, does that give him the same right to play in the NFL? Then he's just not as refined as an NFL quarterback, though.
I want to touch on something that's
maybe not as a starter,
and it's not wrestling related at all. They're encouraging the NFL players to participate in flag football at the Olympics.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's the most American thing on the planet.
So you're telling me I could see what's his tits from Kansas City, throw it to the fucking math teacher down the road. Like, is that what I'm about to see?
That'd be
Like,
great. That'd be fantastic.
So, to be fair, Shadow, I feel that's the way they're going with the real NFL. With all these rules and changes that they're making.
Oh yeah.
Like they want to take out another type of tackle and ban that type of tackle as well.
All right.
listen,
it's just-
the world doesn't want contact sport anymore. Let's call it what it is.
Yet UFC is insanely popular.
Yeah, we have all these Karens out there. Oh, don't hit my kid. Shut up, bitch.
I want to mention what Shadow said about the backstage segment with Pierce and Aldis. I thought it was great how Aldis took control of the situation, and he was like, make sure he gets out of here to escort him. And then Pierce is like, no, I can do it. He goes, okay, security, escort them both out of here. Like, it was just, get off my show. Like, you don't belong here.
I have a quick NWA question for Mr. Gray up there.
What's up, bud?
Could we potentially see an Aldis versus Pierce match in the future?
If they were smart, yes, but I don't know what Adam Pearce's health is like. There's a reason why he stopped working in ring. The scrap daddy's body couldn't keep up with it.
Right.
So I think if there was somebody that was going to be able to work safely enough with him to give Adam Pearce one last match, I think Aldis would be the guy to do it. I think that would be a good mid-card accentuation point at Survivor Series. Would that to be Nick Aldis's in-ring debut against Adam Pearce's in-ring return?
Because I know they're both NWA guys, so I'd ask.
So is Abyss.
I never knew it.
And
Adam
so
Pearce.
is Colby Carino. And who else? I think I counted 7 the other day that are currently on the roster that have held the 10 pounds of gold.
Cody.
AJ Styles, Cody, R-Truth, Bobby
And then the
Roode. No, Bobby Roode held the Impact. He never held the TNA title, the 10 pounds of gold. But I think there were 8 of them is what we counted. Current WWE roster members that held the 10 pounds of gold.
That's cool.
It's crazy. I mean, it was at one point during the Roman Reigns with Adam Pearce that we thought we were going to get a Pearce-Roman match. And everybody was hyped to see that because people want to see Pierce back in the ring.
I want to see Roman and Aldis. That's what I want to see. That I think would be a good match.
Aldis will eventually get back in the ring. But I like what he's doing now. I think he's going to be great as the GM.
I got a question for you three, because GMs are a thing again for the millionth time. Is the GM thing in WWE just a failed concept at this point?
Failed in what way?
Just in general.
I don't know. I don't know if I would say failed, but it's I think it's a tired concept, but they have it just for the brands. They're just figureheads anyways. They don't really have any power. So yeah, I just think it's a archaic concept, I think.
Like any TV drama, a character is only as good as how well you write their part to be. So if they want Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce to be good general managers, write them good parts.
I think they've started right now with Aldis. I think he's off to a good start. Just depends on what they do going forward.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to touch on about SmackDown tonight?
Hurricane Helms, he saved Jimmy Uso's life. When he got thrown over the barricade, Hurricane Helms caught him. He was right there, held him in those arms, nestled him like a baby. Shane Helms saved Jimmy Uso's life.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of wanted to touch on that. So, I think that was during when Cena was fighting Solo, and then Jimmy came out, and then Jay came out and he reveals, he takes off the mask and he reveals it is Jey Uso or whatever. I felt like they shouldn't have. I feel like he shouldn't have revealed who it was. Like, just have him come out and get attacked, and then just jump back over the guardrail as security's chasing him out, and then run back. Just don't reveal that was Jey Uso. The reason I say that is because they could have built on that a little bit going into like the next week, like next Raw or something like that, and then had to be revealed that it was Jey Uso that attacked him. So
I did it for the
I
Raw.
mean, because he left SmackDown, now he's on Raw, so it's like, don't keep like jumping back and forth type thing. So I don't know. They should have just kept it a mystery.
But touching on what Cam said, it doesn't necessarily need to be a mystery. It just made no sense for a run in there from just a random Jey Uso appearance on SmackDown. Like, Jimmy wasn't scheduled to be out there, and you just, oh, here's Jay. Like, what?
I don't know.
I
Jay
think
was getting back at his brother for costing him the titles on Monday.
For sure.
Okay,
I understand that.
I also
But it was
think
so
this is the best way to book brand splits. If you want to have a Raw member of the roster come into SmackDown, he's not a member of that roster. He should have been handled the way Jay got handled tonight. Get that man out of this building. He's not on my team. You know what I mean? That's a good way to book brand splits to make them matter. If they want to make them, do it that way. Make it to where if a Raw member shows up on SmackDown, it means like Nick Aldis just kicked a WWE employee out of the building. That means something now. He showed up. He messed up on Monday Night Raw. Aldis said, not my circus, not my monkeys, homie. You take care of your yard. I'll take care of mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what I was talking about when I said Triple H is booking the way they used to. And when you look at Raw 25 years ago, 10 million people were watching Monday Night Raw. This past Monday night, 1.5 million people were watching it. You want to get back to 10 million people, book your shows the way they were booked then. And that's what Triple H is doing. He's making every minute mean something.
Facts. Yeah, like I said, like I think that I agree with what Will's saying. That's how you book it, I believe. You don't just have random superstars show up on each other's brands. If you have a SmackDown superstar show up on Raw, have them be met with just a wall of security. Like you treat it like it's a freaking invasion. Like, what are you doing here type thing. That's how you make us care about brand splits. That's how you make brand splits matter. So I definitely agree. And I liked how they handled that with, Nick Aldis stepping in, taking charge, be like, hey, get him off my show. He's not a part of SmackDown. So I like that.
I think we're about to see that over the next 4 to 6 weeks, building into Survivor Series, that style of booking.
I think the only ones that'll be the exceptions will be the ones that have the titles, like the tag titles or the women's tag titles.
I'm here for that kind of booking as long as it continues after Survivor Series as well, not just because it's Survivor Series.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so too. I agree with what Jamey said. 2016 SmackDown Live versus Raw was fire. Yeah, it was. It definitely was. There's another thing I wanted to touch on too. I almost forgot. We saw a return teaser promo for Iodon Alba Fyre. I'm hyped for that because they're hyping up their return and they're going after the women's tag team titles. So please, God, get the titles off Chelsea Green and Piper Nevin because they're not doing anything with those titles. And I want to care about those titles so bad. And I feel like they got a Raw deal. Like after they combine the titles from SmackDown, we haven't seen them since. So yeah.
I mean, they're not defending the titles, but they're kind of making them feel important again by being on all the shows. People are talking about them again. So I feel like it's something that's helping build up the women's tag division, even though they're not defending them. Oh man, Lexus King, gonna be a beast.
Ugh. What's that show from 2020 that everybody is obsessed with?
Tiger King?
Tiger King.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Is his manager going to be named like Carol Baskin or something?
Stop. Stop.
Is she going to whack him?
So, not to get off on a sidetrack here, but he chose his name, the name himself, right?
Yeah, that still doesn't mean he doesn't look like fucking the guy from Tiger King or whatever the fuck he's called.
He does. Yo, he does. That's great.
Okay,
Can't wait
fair
to
enough.
meme the shit out of him for it.
That's great.
Anything else you want to touch on before we move into our NFL picks?
So the ending of EO and Flair. So after the match, or I guess the ending to the match and after the match, we kind of touched on this earlier. Does this inadvertently make EO heel now? I mean, I guess she already kind of was, sort of. I don't know. I kind of looked at her as kind of a tweener, but the whole beat down of Charlotte, like this, I guess that kind of makes Charlotte now the face, and then she's the heel, essentially.
I mean, Charlotte's been a baby face for the last 6 to 8 months already.
Right, but like she hasn't been getting the babyface reaction. Like she got booed tonight, and then
Because no one wanted her to win.
exactly that's what I'm saying. So that doesn't really make her the babyface. She's kind of technically
That's whether she's a babyface or not. They're not gonna boo her. They're not gonna cheer her when she's going for a title. No one wants her to win. They want her to be away from the title picture for a while. Because every time she's wrestling, it's for the title.
Yeah, but you also just swung Bianca back into that title picture too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I know.
Emotion.
Pretty much.
Stupid.
So I guess we're getting a tag team match at Crown Jewel.
Give me a
Bianca,
fatal
Charlotte,
five-way, just like
Io.
the Raw Women's Champion.
I
would
don't
assume-
know.
That's what it looks like. So I don't know.
Because WWE actually has a show that same night.
They have 2 shows in one night.
Yeah, there's a show in the States, a super show. So a lot of people are not going to be at Crown Jewel.
Al and I were looking at the schedule over the next 90 days. They do that like 3 times where they're running house shows in 2 different cities.
Oh, it's a house show. I was like, wait,
Like
Yeah,
a super show, yeah.
It's a house show. It's a super show, but you have Gunther defending the IC title at that house show.
yeah, I was massively confused on that. I was like, wait a second.
You have Io Sky defending the championship at that house show.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I don't know
The-
what
the-
they're planning.
The other thing, the last thing that I want to talk about, what happened on SmackDown. I loved how they showed the fact that Crown Jewel was sold out already, and they were like, "Oh yeah, more tickets will be available." Da da da. I thought that was hilarious because they are flexing on AEW. They were just like, "Suck my balls. We can actually sell out shows. You guys can't." I love that. I thought that's funny. So
It's a bot show. It's a bot show. It's a bot show. It's a bot show. The Saudi government looks at WWE and says, "We want your biggest stars. We're going to buy 90,000 tickets." In a lot of cases, the Saudi shows haven't even been canon. Like, they'll just do random shit like letting Mansoor win because, like, they've done really random shit at these Saudi shows. So I think with it, yeah, they can flex to AEW and go, yeah, we sold out 85,000 seats or whatever it's going to be. But with it being a bot show, that would be like Eric Bischoff and Antonio Inoki going, we sold 150,000 tickets. Like, no, you didn't. North Korea made their entire fucking country show up for it. Like, you didn't sell shit. You know what I mean? That's kind of where WWE's at with these Saudi shows.
fair.
I will say, from what I had read tonight, WWE is planning on making this a big show this year. And it's supposed to be like comparable to almost WrestleMania in regard
I
to
think
big
we're
things.
looking at one of the best, if not the best, crown jewel I think they've put on, because
Here's-
the card right now is stacked.
I don't want to make this at all a political statement, but Scalz will understand what I'm saying. The U.S. shot down 2 cruise missiles today in the Red Sea that were fired from Yemen. Okay? Those cruise missiles had to go over Saudi Arabia to get where they were. Like, if shit keeps escalating in the Middle East, WWE is going to have to rethink having a show there in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I don't want this to become a political conversation, but in 2 weeks, that legitimately might be a war zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're stupid for going over there right now, given what's happening over there, anyways.
Facts. Absolutely. If I haven't said it already, I'll say it now. Like when you know, with a war already going on not far from Saudi Arabia right now, I don't feel like they should be going over there anyways. Like you're putting everyone that's going over there in danger anyways. Like you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's war. Like you can't predict what's going to happen. Like, oh yeah, they're several hours away. We're fine. Yeah, that's what you think. Yeah, okay, we'll see about that. You know what I mean? Like, don't put yourself in danger like that. Like, I'm pretty sure they had issues when they were doing the shows for tribute to the troops. Like, they had problems then. So it's like they should have learned. They should learn from that and apply that to this. So.
No, I get it. Overall, I feel it was a good show tonight. Good start to going towards Crown Jewel. They've advertised some good stuff for next week already. Even though next week will be on FS1 and not Fox because of the MLB playoffs. You have Roman versus LA Knight for the contract signing. Hey, Sammy, what's going on?
What's up?
Yeah, but it looks like they're putting big players on next week to try and keep that ratings up, because normally FS1 ratings are roughly around 1 million or so. So they want to make sure that they're beating that. All right. Anything else before we go to the football picks?
Yeah, can WWE stop referencing NFL shit because it's annoying.
They always do it.
Fuck the bloodline is. And you could your big. And you could your big. Shut up, bitch. Stupid ass bullshit.
All right. Oh, look who appeared. We got a random sighting of Jamey tonight.
Jamey.
What's up, everybody?
So let's go on order of the picks. We're going to start with the Vegas versus the Bears game.
Give me the Bears.
Cam?
Give me the Raiders
Where are they playing?
in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Bears by 14. Duh, Bears.
Bears
I
by
have the Raiders.
14.
I'll say the Raiders by 3. Just because I want to see Sean sweat.
All right. Next game we have is Cleveland versus the Colts. I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
100% the Browns. Best thing to ever come out of Indianapolis was fucking Peyton Manning, and he's really from Mississippi.
That's
so
a
go fuck
fact.
yourself.
I'm taking the Colts.
All right. Next game we got the Bills versus the Patriots.
I fucking hate you guys, but I'm taking the Bills.
Give me Buffalo.
And I'm a Patriots fan.
Bills.
Buffalo by 1,000,000.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty much.
Give me the Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Bills.
Well, this is going to ruin Will's streak of picking a team name that starts with the letter B, because we have the Commanders going against the Giants. So,
As a fuck you to Scalz, I picked the Commanders.
I'm gonna make this a political show. Give me the Redskins.
Oh, God.
Until Dan Schneider stops being a piece of shit and sells his team, I'll never pick them. So whoever plays the Commanders.
Give me the Commies.
okay.
Jesus Christ.
That's what people call him, Shadow, unfortunately.
I know, but like,
I am as a card carrying Native American. I'll still call it what it is.
All right, Falcons versus Bucks.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, give me Buccaneers.
I
Picking
picked
the
the
Falcons for my fucking boy Bo. Falcons by 100.
I picked the Bucks, but I'm gonna switch it to Falcons.
You're switching?
Yeah.
All right, because I had it written down. I'm taking the Falcons as well. We got the Detroit Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens.
Lions.
Yeah, give me the Lions. They're on a roll right now.
Give me Motor City Dan Campbell and the Lions.
Will?
Who are they playing?
Baltimore versus the Lions.
You know what? Fuck Wheezy Blonde. Baltimore by 1,000,000.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
I'm taking Detroit.
What about Nate?
Next, we got the Steelers versus the Rams. Cam?
Give me the Rams. We're terrible right now.
I'll go with Rams as well.
In the words of Mike Tomlin, we do not care. But give me the Rams.
Who are they playing? The Rams.
Steelers versus the Rams.
Ben's
I'm
not
with the
the
Rams.
quarterback anymore, right?
No.
Who?
Quarterback's
The
under
Rams. The Rams. Does Matt Stafford still play for Rams?
Yeah.
No.
I was about to say, will
Yeah.
Jeff Fish is
doesn't-
still
yeah.
coach of the Rams and they're in St. Louis.
I was thinking the Lions for some reason.
Wow, that's cold-blooded because you realize they were the ones that beat us in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. That was 2002.
No, it was 1998, sir. You were a baby. I'm going to pick the Rams.
I wasn't even born yet, so there.
In 98? I was
No.
13, dude. I was
That doesn't make it any
I'm
more
literally
better.
almost old enough to be your dad.
I was 3. So
No, you are old enough to be his dad. Come on, 13-year-olds have kids.
You were
man.
13?
I was 13 in 98, yeah.
Christ.
That
Scalz
makes
was like
you 16
47
and
and
01.
98, so you're fine.
I was 16, so fuck you, Shadow.
Oh, Scalz. I always forget Scalz is older than I am.
Cardinals versus the Seahawks.
What versus the Seahawks?
Cardinals.
Seahawks.
Give me the Seabirds.
99 then, sorry. Cardinals, random fact. You know the Arizona Cardinals are the only remaining team from the original NFL. They're one of
Did
the
not know.
founding charter members of the league, and they're the only one left.
now that you said that, they're probably going to sell the team.
They're going to change the name. They've been from St. Louis. They went from St. Louis to
Boston,
to Boston, and then
Chicago.
to Chicago, back to St. Louis, then to Arizona.
Yeah.
They're going to sell the team to Alaska and call the Alaskan Blubber Nuggets. Mark my
I'm
words.
taking
All
the,
the
I'm
Alaskan
taking the
Aces.
Seahawks. What do you take? Who'd you take, Cam?
Give me the Seabirds.
The
All right,
shit
next game we have the Packers versus the Broncos.
Broncos are a reliable vehicle, but I gotta give it to the Packers.
Give me the Packers.
Russell Wilson has more bathrooms than touchdowns. Packers by 1,000,000.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
see.
Spread a little love on it. Give me the Packers.
You said the Packers game?
Yeah.
All right, we got a clean sweep of the Packers. Next game, Chargers versus the Chiefs. I'm going to Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Cheap.
Chiefs.
No brainer.
And Taylor's boyfriend.
All right.
The Kansas City Taylors.
Yeah, the
Next
Kansas
game
City
we have
Swifties.
is the Sunday night vehicle. You have the Dolphins versus the Eagles.
I love the fact that the Dolphins coach rips his dad pin on the sidelines. So I pick him to single-handedly win the game by himself.
Give me the Dolphins.
I take the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And
I'm thinking the Dolphins.
a word for Will. Kurt Warner.
What about Kurt Warner?
Won the Rams at Super Bowl.
Oh, I know who he is. He was also bagging groceries the fucking week before the preseason or whatever the goddamn story was.
Yeah.
Fuck Kurt Warner.
In Iowa.
Yep. And he
Yeah.
was with the Giants before that.
And he was in the AFL. That's why he was bagging groceries, because he only got paid during their season. So in the off season, he had to bag groceries and work fast food and shit. Which I think is an awesome story.
Quarterback. Yeah.
All
That's
right,
what all pro
and-
athletes should do. I'm sick of these overpriced fucking babies.
And we have the Monday night game of the week. San Francisco 49ers versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking
They should have
49ers.
flexed this game out because this matchup's terrible. Give me the 49ers by 1,000,000.
Brock Purdy is going to lead his team to success. They're going to fumble their way and whatever. This is the pro equivalent of the Egg Bowl.
Give me the Niners.
I picked the Niners, but I'd love it for the Vikings to win just so I can watch the Niner Nine gang fucking cry out in the streets some more.
That would be beautiful.
Like they did last week when they lost to the Browns.
That's what happens when you get exposed.
Or you lose your two best players to injury in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap everything up. Anything you guys want to say before we give our sign off?
I have absolutely no fucking clue what I'm doing with the NFL picks, so enjoy those.
I just want to say again, Will, Shadow, thank you guys.
I'm just here because they're a bunch of marks.
Again, Shadow, do you know what that word means?
Yeah, I told you. It's what my wife gives me every time I don't listen.
All right. Will, where can we find you?
First and foremost, thank you guys as always for allowing me to hang out. If you want to find my shenanigans, check my link tree, the Will Gray. You'll find everything I do for Rivet City Radio, Botch Pots and Chair Shots, Off the Top Media, and Creation World.
Shadow?
You can find me here Monday nights with Sorry for the Interruption. You can also find me on Saturday nights with Ringside Chatter. Not here this Saturday. And if you really give a shit about my content, head over to TikTok where I don't even give a fuck about it. And that's that guy Shadow.91.
Jamey?
Diamond Set Wrestling, Off the Top Media, Friday Night Review. Dig it.
All right, Joe Dirt.
Cam?
Life's
You
good.
can find me on TikTok, and my stuff is in the chat right now. You can find me right here on every Friday night with Friday Night Review. You can find me on Wednesdays on River City Radio with The Boom, and on Sunday nights on River City Radio with The Table Spot. And yeah,
Dabu.
All right. So just a little housekeeping. Make sure tomorrow night, right here on Off the Top, make sure you check out Ringside Chatter. It's going to be myself, normally with Shadow and Mick Duster. Shadow will not be there, so we're going to have at least one special guest, maybe two. Then on Sunday, all on Rivet City Radio, you're going to have Rivet City Red Zone at 11:30 a.m., Spots and Chair Shots at 8 p.m., and Table Spot at 10 p.m. Make sure you check all three of those out. Monday night, right back here at 11 p.m. is Sorry for the Interruption. Yes, Cam? Yes, Jamie?
Question for Shadow. So is that saying it's 10-10 or is it 250?
What?
The clock. That picture.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's lunchtime is what it's saying.
Okay, that makes sense. Pardon me.
Oh, shit, Jack's going to hockey.
If you want to find me, I am here on Off the Top as well as on YouTube, and then TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter's Off the Top Media _. Hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll catch you all soon. Good night.
Hiya, Daddy Harder.